Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
I'm Mike.
And today, Blind Fight Friday. Hesitation there because I couldn't remember what today was. So today's Blind Fight Friday comes to you courtesy of my brother wanted to see this one. So we recently just did this Chattanooga Cask Strength. I should hold the bottle that I'm actually talking about. This one comes in at 111 proof. We paid $49.99. And when we did it, I was smart enough to write it down because he said we should put it up against the Yellowstone that we have that's 115 proof. We paid $79.99 for this one. He thought it would be a good matchup, so that's what we have. So as of right now, our Blind Fight Friday rules, I leave the room, Mike pours for me. He leaves the room, I pour for him. We may or may not be drinking the same thing at the same time. So while we're playing this game, I'm going to introduce you to a few changes that are going to happen to the channel. So we're going to start with glass number one. So you may notice over the last few weeks we've been revamping like the Tuesdays game, and we're trying different things out. So what we will probably do for a month or so, and you guys can leave a comment down below whether you like the changes, don't like the changes, and stuff like that. We're going to open up Tuesday into a whatever day we want to do thing. We're not going to have the game on that. What we're going to do, let me take a sip.
I'm listening very attentively.
I know, because you're learning as we go along anyways. But we what I want to do is I'm going to use the samples that we have in our sample pool, and I set them all up so they're head-to-head battles. So originally, that's what Blind Fight Friday was supposed to be. It was going to be sample versus sample. Because that way, we're not looking at two bottles and it gives us a suggestion. It could be any two bottles. Some of them were already in there. Some of the ones, I take your suggestions, I'm going to put them in there, and I'm going to put some good ones up against each other that are going to be in there. So it could be good, bad, it could be anything. But we're not going to have a clue what two bottles we're actually putting up against each other. So keep sending suggestions. I will write it down. I will put your name next to it, and we might not acknowledge it in the beginning of the video. One isn't too bad, by the way.
The nose didn't jump out crazy.
Mm-mm.
Mine's kind of caramel-esque.
A light caramel. It's not like heavy and thick, but a light caramel. So I will be able to edit later on, because you're going to also see that I put thumbnails now, whether we have the bottle or not. I'm putting in fake bottles just so you have an idea. You guys will know when you're clicking on the video what's going head-to-head. We're going to be totally blind. We're not going to have a clue until it's get revealed towards the end of the video. So we're going to see what one does after I drink two. And as for Tuesday, we have a couple things that we might try, but we can just use it as either a crack and open, or my wife wants another day where she can just take anything in the whole place, whether we drank it or not, and see if we can figure out whether we drank it or not beforehand. She has these little things she wanted to do, but
that'd be a tricky one too.
Yeah, and then regrets we can go on a Tuesday, whatever it is. So you'll see. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the changes. I'm taking everybody's suggestions. That's where all these changes are coming from. So, and if everyone hates it, we can always go back to the way it was. It really don't matter.
Plan C.
But on the Friday, what I think we're going to do is we're really going to put whiskey against whiskey. We're going to try to give you a lot more tasting notes, because I am running the bottles. Like you see the bottles right now. You know what we're drinking. We don't know what we're drinking. I'm going to run them like that, so you guys will have an idea.
My nose 2 might be a little stronger than my nose 1.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. This will be a bad Blind Fight Friday because I'm doing all explaining what's going to happen later. Oh, I think the palate is way better, too, on my glass, too. But, so you'll know what we're drinking throughout the whole thing. And that was what some of you guys had suggested anyway. So we'll see how this goes. We'll probably run it for a month and see how it works out. And if nobody likes it, we can always revert back to something else. But hopefully you're all enjoying it. Hopefully you're not brand new and just listen to me ramble about something you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you are brand new and still here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're coming on to finally hitting 1,000 2 years later, so I greatly appreciate it if you'd hit that. We won't charge it all right now.
My 2 is a little nuttier. Now my question is, which one
I don't know.
like better?
I don't know about nuttier. I think it's definitely more flavorful. Well, now we can knick-knack anyway, so.
So
they're both similar in proof.
Now my one's nose is
one is way nuttier. When you said nuttier, this is what I was thinking. My one nose for me is way nuttier.
My 2 noses.
That's your 2? Yeah. Well, that's why when you said so. No, my two nose is.
My one nose is stronger now.
Oh, like my one nose is. I mean, my two nose is way strong. It's different because one's just kind of bringing me like just a nutty, in a light caramel, and it's lighter. Where the two is really cranking. There's something different in my two nose that I don't know what that smell is.
That's kind of my one.
That's
kind of my
different.
two
All
nose.
right, let me start with glass one here and see. Oh, I know what I'm drinking now. I'm almost positive.
I'm
know
thinking
what
I
I'm
kind of like one better than my two.
coming off glass two and drinking glass one. I'm almost positive I know which is which now. And I drinking it. My glass two, it has a better viscosity. It has a better hang time. It has a longer finish for sure.
That's my one.
It's still, yeah. Where my two, I think the bottles for me are switched. My glass one, I think just broke on that last sip. I'm going to see coming off of glass two.
I just rolled mine down, but I think they the way they are. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying I'm disappointed in my two. It's just one, like you said, my one sticks around a little bit longer, has a better nose.
My two is a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. My glass two is definitely it drinks almost thicker. It has a better viscosity. It has a better palate and the hang time
and it does
twice
stick
as
around
long.
longer.
Yeah. On that.
But I get I kind of get a pretty good nut in my number two.
So our bottles will probably switch. I'm getting a good nut in glass number one. One isn't bad. I can almost say that my glass two is drinking hotter, which makes zero sense because I think the bottles are opposite and it's less proof. But it actually drinks.
But it's less by
it drinks.
Chin.
No, but not in a hot way though. It's just such a viscosity. It's such a long finish to me. It drinks with more flavor, not so much hotter to me. But so I can. Did you pick who you liked better?
I think I like my one, and I think the bottles are the way they are.
As he is. Okay. So, and I think I like my two, and I think the bottles might be switched, me personally. But my two is definitely a better drinker. But I will say, when we cracked this, I wasn't a fan at all. I don't hate, I'm not getting, it broke a little bit, and that's why I said I think I know what it is, but not hard into the grassy land.
So
it just broke.
That's like 2 or 3 times now, though, with Yellowstone, even in the original one, that in the beginning, it was a NO spells no heavy.
It needs to open up.
It ended up being all right in blinds and ended up doing all right. I mean, it was never super winner.
This one actually reminds me a lot of the Booker's, just not as hot. Like, it's giving me that nutty profile that I get. If I got it right. But
so
whatever
you
glass
do have
one
it
is.
right, because I poured Yellowstone and then Chattanooga on your right. So. Right. You did get it right.
So this one actually today is bringing a lot of the Bookers to me. It's really bringing that peanut flavor with the light caramel. It is today, yeah.
On nose and flavor.
And if I'm being honest, because when we drank this, I was like, wow, this is just hot to be hot. It's not doing that today because, in fact, the lower proof one. So on yours, you picked glass one over glass two just so we can get through that. I put Chattanooga on your left, and I put it. So we both.
So we did guess them right.
We both not only guessed it right, Chattanooga won.
There's a little more flavor to that one, I believe. And what was 49 and 79? So that's actually, then this is pretty much a steal.
Jeez, I can't do things today. No, absolutely. I knew when we cracked that, and you were the one who said this would be a good thing. When Steve came over, and thank you, Steve, for that. We'll eventually put them in. We tasted the Bookers, and we tasted this, and he goes, I think I might like this one better. So that will be a future blind that I'm going to put in because this does, for the 111 proof, it just drinks with such a good taste and a good flavor that, this is a good one. So again, the next Blind Fight Friday, you're going to see there won't be bottles on the table, it'll only be samples, but our grand winner today is the Chattanooga Whiskey Cask Strength. This one, and again,
where was that? Do we know where we got it? Do you?
Yeah, I don't remember where I got this one.
It's a mystery Steve bottle.
No, well, because I had to think for a second because we just had one sent up from Tennessee from one of his friends, but that wasn't the one because that one was finished in a port cask. You can only get it down in Tennessee. So this is, I'm not sure where we got this, but someone actually, I believe, suggested it. So if you were one of the ones, leave it down below to try this one if we like the regular one. And we ended up finding it. And I'm like, yes, please grab it. So I don't remember where he got it in it. So... Well, there you go. I babbled on enough on this one. So this is
a lot of talking.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to prep everybody. There's more changes coming, and again, please leave a comment down below whether you like it, you don't like it. Give it a little bit. We're gonna try and with change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? So with change, it doesn't always work.
I'm gonna have a whole notepad going on here.
We're gonna have to do a little stuff, but we'll iron it out. Hopefully, after a month of doing it, we'll be right back in the saddle again. So. There's Blind Fight Friday.
That's a maybe.
Well, I said, well, hopefully. I'm shooting.
Do I pour 4 or do I pour 2 this time?
Right, exactly. So, well, it'll be easy. You're just grabbing them out of the box.
No,
so,
I hear you now.
That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
Subscribe. This nose one is way better. It's got all the bourbon notes more than this is a one note gel.
No, that's exactly.
Kind of like nut.
And that's it. In a slight caramel on it. 100%. The Chattanooga dominated this one. It absolutely.